Hey middle schoolers, Miss Maria here. Another art video for you guys. In case you missed the lesson or would like to review the steps to making our project, you can watch this video anytime. The example that I'm going to show is based on this artwork. This is called a Notan. Like we discussed in class, a Notan is a Japanese word that means light dark harmony, and we will be playing with positive and negative space in order to create this work. I have demonstrated for you, and you will see in a few minutes, the steps are for a very simple Notan. The shapes are very large. They take up a lot of the space. They're it's not a complicated design. It only looks complicated once it's put together because that's just the way the Notan plays on itself, the balance between the symmetrical shapes. And you have a lot of freedom with this project to create something that can be on a range of difficulty. It could be something that is very simple, like you'll see in this video. It could also be something that is much more difficult. You can choose to make Notans that are very intricate and you have lots of fine details. The same principles are going to apply though, because you have lines of symmetry running on these edges here. And you could even do something, I have an example here, a great example of, this is one where the student has decided to play with repetition. So he has made his Notan going smaller. He wanted to play with the idea that these tiny pieces could still make a really dynamic design. So let's take a look on how to get started for this project. You're going to need that small black piece of paper and that white paper. They are square. It's to help you center up for creating symmetry on your paper and balance and harmony. And this is you absolutely cannot do this project without having a smaller piece of paper inside of a larger piece of paper. You're also going to need a pair of scissors, and you will probably want to have some glue, either a glue stick or even regular Elmer's glue would be fine. Let's go ahead and get started. Let's take a look at the first steps on making the Notan, okay?
So middle school, I'm going to walk you through how to do this. And as a reminder, you will need a pencil, you're going to need scissors, you're going to need those two pieces of paper. And as we come to the end of this, of course, you're going to need some glue in order to make this all work. The very first thing I want you guys to do is to find the middle of the white piece of paper with your black square. Not too high, not too low. Just drop it in the middle. And then you're going to mark little corners on the edges of the black paper. Make sure that you're writing on the white paper, so when you move this away, you're going to see exactly where the black paper is always going to be returned. And it's important that you do this correctly so that you know how to keep things balanced. This is an example of how to draw a simple Notan. What you see me doing is creating large shapes on the edges of this work. I am making both organic and geometric shapes. Remember that organic shapes are the shapes that you would find in nature. They are things like a leaf, or things like a splash of water, or a banana, or whatever, something that is going to have soft edges. You can also make geometric shapes, and those are the shapes that you would use with a ruler or a straight edge, shapes that have names. Once you finish drawing all your shapes, you're going to work one side at a time. Do not cut more than one side at a time, because you will lose track of where your shapes belong, and that would stink because you would probably end up getting really frustrated, and nobody wants that. Cut out the shapes, return the black square to your little corners, so it's home, and flip the shapes that you cut to the outside area on the white. This is going to cause that positive and negative space to start showing up on your artwork. When you glue down the pieces, you are going to do it carefully. Make sure that you maybe use a piece of paper as a scrap so you don't get glue on the table, but flip the shape over. you'll see in a little bit that I almost make a mistake and glue my shape on backwards. Make sure that you're gluing the right side. It's kind of goes back to that saying, measure twice, cut once. You don't want to glue your shape on wrong. It's going to ruin the whole illusion. You're just going to work your way through all of the sides of your project, cutting and gluing as you go. Do not glue the black piece of paper until you are done. Obviously, if you do that, you won't be able to cut out any more of your shape. Middle schoolers, as you're coming to the end of your project, keep in mind that you want to make sure that you're lining up things always, always, always. This is the part of the project where I almost glue my shape upside down, and it's kind of embarrassing, but hey, mistakes happen to everybody. You see me trying to put this down and realize that the line of symmetry is actually flipped. So be careful when you are assembling your shapes together. It all worked out. It was fine. It was no big deal. But do keep that in mind, especially for those of you who are making a more complicated design. You are really going to want to take your time in placing down your shapes. So as you come to the last part, which is to glue the black square in its spot, make sure that you are going to flip the black square so that you glue the back side. I know that it seems like a really simple thing to do, but you want to keep your project as organized as possible so that things don't get wrinkled or torn or confused. You have nowhere to go. We're just taking our time, and line it up first before you press it down really, really well, so that if you need to shift it, the glue will allow you to slide it through. Once you've done this, you are done. You've made a successful Notan, and this is how we will be working on this project in class. So as you saw in the video, I made a very, very simple and balanced Notan. This was created by putting one shape on each side, but you are not limited to that. You can do intricate shapes, you can do small shapes, you can do large shapes. You could do something like this student did here, and use your own inspiration for this work. I will show you other Notans. I showed some Notans in class, and I will add those here at the end. You can get inspired by those too. But remember that we will be working on this project in class. You will need these materials during art time so that you can be productive and you can make some artwork while we are together on those days when we have art class. All right, middle school, I hope that you like this project. I hope that you will find something really awesome to put inside of your project, and I will see you soon. Bye, you guys.